Hey everyone, my name is Brian. You are watching DC Unleashed. I have not been around for a while, I'm sorry. But I've been working my tail off on a brand new documentary on my main channel. But there's too much news not to talk about the DCU. In fact, we got a confirmed Superman 2 announcement. And James Gunn is going to be writing and directing this next installment in the Super family. Huge news. So I thought it would be a good time to talk about possible plots. I scoured the internet, looked in every corner, every Reddit post, every article, every James Gunn interview, every little tidbit of information, and I think I have pieced together a possible plot, or at least what I think they're going to be doing for the next installment of Superman 2. And I think the characters involved are going to be a huge part of the DCU moving forward. So, before we get into it, do me a solid, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber, and once you hear what I have to say, hit the comment section and let me know what you think is going to be happening in the future of the DCU. Let's get right into it. So, from Variety, James Gunn to direct next movie in the Super family at DC Studios after Superman's success. This is an interesting article. It says James Gunn will write and direct the next installment in the Super family, Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav confirmed during the company's earnings call. Gunn had previously said in various interviews during his Superman press tour that he was writing a new movie featuring David Corns's but Superman in it, although he always remained coy on whether it was a standalone Superman sequel or something else. Zaslav provided no clarity, opting to say the next movie in the Super family, but it's news that Gunn will direct the movie in addition to writing the screenplay. He served the same role on Superman. So we do know that the next project is Peacemaker Season 2. It comes out on August 21st, 2 weeks from now. And we do know that there are some characters in Peacemaker Season 2, like Maxwell Lord, Green Lantern, and Hawkgirl. We don't know if this is the same universe that we're seeing in this shot. We don't know if Peacemaker came from his universe, went into that universe, and now he's applying to the Justice Gang, or if this is his universe's version of the characters, and we'll see him actually come into the DCU proper at some point by the end of the series. We do know, though, that the next project 100% will be addressing the events of Superman, and that there will be a huge cameo in it, according to James Gunn. That's a big deal, man. I mean, I'm not saying we're going to get Superman, but I think that this is going to actually be lore building for Superman the movie. We also got a cameo from Peacemaker in Superman, and it was a short cameo where he was being interviewed by a Tucker Carlson type character and he's saying, atrocious, crazy things. But it was a good cameo because that tells us that Peacemaker is in that universe. Did this take place before the events of the movie? Is he already in that universe? Or is that the new universe's version of Peacemaker? We don't know. What I suspect, though, is that we will see at some point in the future Brainiac. I'll tell you why. James Gunn reads a lot of Brainiac comics. He posts the comics he reads constantly on Threads. Brainiac is a huge part of Superman's story and also a huge part of Lex Luthor's story. At the end of the movie, we saw Lex Luthor get arrested. He's in prison right now, probably plotting his revenge, but I suspect we will see Brainiac in the next installment of Superman. At the very least, definitely in the future. This is from Cosmic Book News. Brainiac teased again for James Gunn's Superman, the Thanos-level threat. This is what it says. Brainiac is once again teased for James Gunn's Superman movie, and actually could be the glue that binds the DCU, much like Thanos and the Infinity Stones with the MCU's Phase 1 through 3. The latest tease for Brainiac comes again from Humberto Gonzalez, who used to drop mad scoops and now he writes for The Wrap. Gonzalez previously teased Brainiac and James Gunn's Superman a year ago, and now does so again with an image from the comics posted to X. A year ago, we saw scooper Daniel RPK, claim Brainiac is indeed in Superman and reportedly even added the information to his confirmed section on his Patreon account. By the way, once again, a very good reason to not trust Daniel RPK. I'm sorry. Quick side note here. Quick side quest. I know we're talking about this, the future, But Daniel RPK is legit not a good source for any kind of leaks or scoops. A year ago, before the movie came out, Daniel RPK claimed without a shadow of a doubt that Brainiac was in the Superman movie. And he added the information to his stupid, ridiculous Patreon account. As confirmed. Guess what? Brainiac wasn't in the movie. The fact this guy has over 9,500 members is beyond insane to me. He is wrong 90% of the time. Do not trust this guy. He is full of these journalists that are reporting on his stupid leaks and scoops are helping him scam people out of their money. Please. Okay, back to the story. I'm sorry, Daniel RBK just totally triggers me. The guy is full of absolute shit. Back to this though. Of course, Brainiac is a big deal when it comes to the Superman universe, but more so when it comes to the Supergirl universe. Brainiac is a super intelligence, an artificial intelligent cyborg robot guy. He likes to shrink cities and literally bottle them. He's trying to collect all the information in the universe. He's extremely powerful and a Thanos level threat for sure. We do know that they are in the middle of finishing the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow movie with Millie Alcock, and I would be shocked if Supergirl was not in Superman 2. She was teased at the end of the first movie. She was clearly comfortable with Clark, just walked into his fortress. She was a little tipsy to retrieve her dog Krypto. So she was teased at the end of that movie. More importantly, that movie is the next big movie coming out. I believe that we're going to see Superman as a cameo in Supergirl, and that will probably set up the threat of Brainiac, and then we'll see a team up of sorts in Superman 2, and that will be the conclusion, ultimately, of the Brainiac storyline, or maybe it just keeps teasing it. Maybe we see a huge Justice League thing. I'm not sure, but I know for a fact that the next movie is Supergirl. Superman, David Cornswet Superman will be in that movie, and I would be absolutely flabbergasted if Millie Alcock's Supergirl was not in Superman 2 after that tease. Another big part of the DCU is Batman, and we don't know yet who's playing Batman. We don't know if it's Robert Pattinson's Batman. I know a lot of people seem to believe Robert Pattinson will 100% be the Batman in this universe. I don't agree. I don't think he's going to be. I think the tone's way off. But, you know, I'm probably biased because I didn't like the movie. I literally hated the Batman. I have no interest in the sequel. And unless there's major changes, that universe is just not fantastical enough for me to be interested. Also, it's really dark. I'm not talking about dark in like the sense where it's like a dark storyline, but like the lighting is too dark. Overall, I hope he's not the Batman in this universe. Regardless, Batman will be the key to forming the Justice League. And ultimately, we are trying to get this universe in a natural way to the Justice League. The Justice League is DC's version of the Avengers. We saw a glimpse of the beginnings of the Justice League in the movie. Guy Gardner, Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific, and Metamorpho now. We saw the Hall of Justice, and we saw a mural. And in the mural was a really interesting group of different people. And sometime in the future, I will walk you through what was in that mural. But we do know that they are setting the groundwork for the Justice League. This is from superherohype.com. It says Sean Gunn plays Maxwell Lord in the DCU, and he made his debut in Superman. Very brief debut, I might add. He will return in Peacemaker Season 2, which we saw in the trailer, where the Justice Gang will hold tryouts for new members, which we saw. This storyline introduces Lord's deeper involvement and lays the groundwork for his eventual shift from supporter to antagonist. So here is another option. Lex Luthor's in jail. Maxwell Lord, as we know, can be a villain. That would be another option. That would not be the option I would go with. I think Brainiac is a better option. But what if, hear me out, Maxwell Lord is the minor villain that sort of tells the story, And Brainiac, just like Thanos, is the one that they're teasing in the background. Maybe he's working with Brainiac. His villainous schemes are being orchestrated by Brainiac in some way. So I have a theory about Brainiac that you might find interesting. Remember the message in the first movie, the message from his parents? Lex Luthor said he didn't alter. James Gunn, in an interview after the movie came out, said, of course he didn't alter the message. Of course. I made it very clear. But he didn't say that the message wasn't altered. My theory is that Brainiac is behind the scenes already. I think that he actually altered the message, and in the movie we do see the engineer sort of freaking out when she's receiving the data. There can be something there. Also, the engineer is still alive. Who knows? There can be some Brainiac code inside her. There's so much more to this movie than what we saw on the surface. Gunn wasn't trying to bog down the storyline with a bunch of future teases, but that doesn't mean they weren't there. It's entirely possible that Brainiac purposely adjusted the message to distract Superman from some kind of scheme. It's going to be very interesting if we ever see the conversation that Clark and Kara have about that message. Because I have to assume Kara Zor-El also has a similar message. Is it the same message? Was her message altered? I would love to see her opinion on why she was sent to Earth. Same as Clark. According to Everything DCU, James Gunn says Brainiac was considered to be the villain for Superman before landing on Lex. Look, it totally makes sense for Lex Luthor to be the first villain in the first Superman movie of your brand new DC universe, but Brainiac has to be in it. And I love this first comment here. Yeah, he's definitely the villain in the next film. And of course, introducing Brainiac before Lex would have been a foolish idea. Glad they changed it. Everyone's pretty much in agreement that Brainiac is coming. Is he coming in Superman 2? Or is it down the line with a Justice League movie, with a team-up film? What if they do the same thing where they tease Brainiac through these other epic storylines and then conclude it with one big team-up where they have to fight Brainiac the same way they fought Thanos and the Snap? An interesting theory that I've seen is, what if Lex Luthor, in broadcasting Superman's parents' message, actually alert Brainiac that there's a Kryptonian living on Earth? What if that is what draws Brainiac to Earth in the first place? In fact, the project coming up after Peacemaker, early 2026, is going to be the Lanterns. And stay tuned for that, because I have a whole Lanterns video coming up next week. But what if a big part of the storyline is they also got the broadcast and they sent someone to Earth to investigate? And then we get this buddy cop film where these two connect and actually have to work together. I think the casting for these two is perfect, and I believe a soft introduction via Peacemaker, Lanterns, Supergirl to all these major players is a big deal for an upcoming team-up film where they have to fight against Brainiac. So enough of me hammering on about Brainiac. Let's talk about the characters that we think are going to be in the movie. We know for a fact that Supergirl will be in the film. Hopefully it's more than just a cameo. I thoroughly suspect that she will be a big part of the movie because of that familiar connection, and we're going to be seeing her in her movie before Superman 2 even comes out. We're definitely going to see Guy Gardner's Green Lantern again, for sure, but before Superman 2 comes out, we will have also seen the Lanterns, John Stewart and Hal Jordan. The idea of them not being a part of the future is insane. One character I was really hoping that we would see was Metallo. He is a Lex Luthor creation. He can be an antagonist while they're setting up the Brainiac storyline. And of course, he can be a perfect follow-up to Lex Luthor's revenge plot. I would not put it past Gunn to use Metallo in an upcoming Superman movie. I mean, dude, he used Metamorpho. So Metallo is right up there. So I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Authority. I know James Gunn did tease the Authority years ago when he first talked about the first phase of DCU, but he did go on to specify recently that they couldn't crack the script and that the movie was temporarily on hold. We don't know if it was going to be a cartoon or a movie or a series or what, but I would have no issue if they just abandoned the Authority. I'm not a fan of any of the Wildstorm characters, or any of the Wildstorm comics whatsoever. I know the Engineer was a big part of that, but I don't like the Authority. I really hope that we don't have any connection to the Authority. Let's just let that go and move on and focus on the core Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, etc., characters. Obviously, none of this is confirmed. This is just me theorizing based on decades of reading comics, knowing James Gunn's style, and seeing all the various post threads and leaks that James Gunn himself has been putting out there. I don't think it's an accident that we see him post comic books that he's inspired by, that the cast is reading. I think these are hints at what we're going to expect from future DCU movies like Supergirl and Superman 2. Again, none of this is confirmed, but I have scoured the internet. I literally have probably 50 different websites, posts, tweets, threads, Instagram images, the whole nine. I have so much information about this upcoming film and what they're going to be doing with DCU. That said, I am going to be releasing another video tomorrow sometime about the Lanterns, and then another video about Batman. I did get a little hint, a leak, a scoop or whatever about someone that's actually in talks to become Batman. I'm not sure if that's a voice actor, if it's for Clayface or what, but there is an actor that was teased to be going in to read for Batman, and I trust the source. So in a couple days, I'll be dropping that video. Regardless, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm so excited to see Peacemaker in a couple weeks, Supergirl, Lanterns, and I'm extremely excited about the future of DCU. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments section. Who do you think will be the villain in Superman 2? Because once we figure out who the antagonist is, boy, the theories are going to be off the charts. I did see a post the other day that said maybe we'll see a version of Ultraman again. I don't think we'll see him for a very, very, very long time. If we ever see Ultraman again, it'll be in a crisis kind of situation. Maybe that black hole took him to Earth 3 and he takes over that planet in some way. But I don't think we'll see Ultraman again, at the very least, for a very, very long time. That's it, man. Let me know what you guys think. Hit the comment section and give me your best theories. Tell me who do you think is going to be the antagonist. What do you want to see in a new Superman film? Now that Lex Luthor has been done, do you want to see Lex Luthor again? I don't. I think in every Superman movie, Lex is always the bad guy. I know we had to do it for this film, but let's move past that for a while and focus on other villains. That's it. Thanks so much. On the way to the comment section, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you tomorrow. Stay super.